Well, hello again. I am back. Shower is done. Uh, Coffee has done exactly what it was supposed to do this morning, so good way to start the morning. I'm going to use this last section before I leave to go to the marathon to talk about protection. Very important that you have protection when you go to run something like a marathon. Of course, I am not talking about that kind of protection. I'm talking about protection from things that happen to you when you run 26.2 miles. The first of which are, pretty simple stuff. Um, I usually use a product like this. This is Aquaphor, and this is just to keep yourself from getting any kind of a rub. 26 miles, you're going to sweat. I don't care what kind of weather you're having, you're going to sweat. Um, and one of the things, of course, that can happen when you have fluid and you have shirts rubbing against you is you can get some pretty nasty rubs. And if you ever had them on your nipples, ow. Let me just tell you, showers are a new experience in pain if you have nipple burns. So there's lots of products out there. There's another thing called Body Glide, which a lot of people swear by. I seem to have a lot more luck with this stuff here, which is Aquaphor, which is actually made for kids to protect them from diaper rash. So pretty much any place where your clothing comes in contact with you and can rub is a good place to slather this on. I also tend to put this on my feet too, just to make sure that I don't have any rubs on my feet, because you're going to be on them for a little while. Other things, pretty simple stuff. Again, really doesn't matter what kind of a marathon you're in, unless you're, maybe running at the South Pole or something. Don't ever forget your suntan lotion. Real important stuff. In addition, also, lip balm, same thing. If you're like me, you're going to be out there for 4+ hours in the sun, and it's going to be pretty sunny today. The last thing you want to do is be in pain after you're done with your marathon. Got some good news today, of course. It's going to be in the mid-50s at the start of the marathon, so I'll be chilly standing around, but once we start running, I'll be good. And they're forecasting right now 70 degrees at about 10 o'clock, and 75 by the time I finish, just before noon. So that's good. That having been said, I tend to like to have a hat. This particular hat is, the company swears, but this actually helps protect you from the UV rays and stuff and keeps it off your head. And as you can see, not a lot of hair on my head, so I can use all the protection I got. The other nice thing about this, though, that I like, it's also ventilated, so the heat isn't trapped underneath your hat. I've used this actually this last summer, and if you remember, this last summer was pretty hot. I've worn this all the way up to like 80-degree days, and I was pretty good. It also has like a terry cloth kind of an inside to it. I don't know if you can see that, but that really helps keep the sweat that on me, always piles up on my forehead and runs into my eyes. That keeps it out of my eyes. That's really great. The other thing that I will have is this thing right here. This is a road ID. Real important. A lot of races, they have something where you can write it on the back of your bib, and if you don't have something like a road ID, absolutely write your name. And at the very least, whether or not you're allergic to any medications in the back of your bib. Good to have a contact number, though, if you can put that on there. I actually have all that information on this, and so anytime I'm running, marathons or away from home, someplace where people don't know me, I always wear this thing. Probably should wear it for my local runs, because you're probably more likely to get hurt close to home. But I certainly wear it for things like this. And then, of course, I'm going to have to duck down for this one. One of the other things, and this is actually a new product for me, that I always used to hate in long runs, is when your shoes start to come untied. Found a product which many of you may know about already, and it's called Yanks. It's a new type of lacing system, and instead of regular laces, it's actually more of an elastic material. And it looks like this. This more looks like a small bungee cord. Basically, you set this up on your shoes, and I've actually run 16 miles in this, so I know what this feels like. And it sets up the when you want your shoes to be laced, and it never, ever, ever loosens. So this is nice. I can slip right into these, and I never have to worry about having to stop and pull over at mile 16 to tie my shoes or something like that. So this is a neat product. First marathon for me with these, but like I said, I've done a number of runs with these to make sure that it was going to work, because you never try anything new at a marathon. And I have done 16 miles in this, and it worked really, really, really great. So I'm probably going to get this for all my shoes. And then, of course, there is going to be food and fluids on the course. This course looks like it's pretty well stocked. I tend to bring something with me just in case, when I start to get hungry, we've just passed the food place, or there was a huge mob and I was in a zone and I didn't really want to stop. One of the products I like, stuff here is called, you see it? It's called Sport Beans. I like them, one, because they're jelly beans, and I like jelly beans. But these things here, have, of course, the carbohydrates, which is sugar, electrolytes, vitamins B and C, and then these are the energy ones. So these actually also have caffeine. Yeah. So there is that. So that's all I've got for you. Next time I see you, I will be finished with the marathon. Hopefully we'll do well. I need to do an hour and 1 minute for every 6 miles to hit my goal time, which is going to be 4 hours and 28 minutes. I want to have a couple minutes to spare to beat my 4:30 goal. So that's 1:01 for 6, 2:02 for 12, 3:03 for 18, and then 4:04 for 24, and then of course I crossed the finish line, hopefully at 4 hours and 28 minutes. So we'll see how we do. I've been fighting a cold all week. This is the first time I've actually really mentioned it, because I've been trying to just keep those kind of thoughts out of my head with everything else that's happened in the last week or so. Pretty certain I got this cold from my wife, so thank you, dear. I love you. I do mean that, though. I do love you. But I think luckily, because I've been on antibiotics for my hand, which I got stung by hornets in, I've been able to keep this sucker at bay. But it's cranked up a little bit more in the last 2 days, so we will see. The goal, of course, is to run a smart marathon and to run across the finish line, not drag my sorry butt across it. Gotta look good for the photos. So that's all I have. I will see you in about 5 hours or so. See you then.
Happy trails till we meet again.